Now let's get a legal perspective to the court verdict on INEC's deregistration of political parties in the country. I have joining me a lawyer, Babatunde Aware. Good to have you join us, Babatunde Aware. Now let's get your reaction to the court verdict on INEC's deregistration of political parties.
Okay, well, thank you. It's pretty straightforward, and I think the judgment in itself was pretty clear that this judgment was given on the grounds that the registration, or at this time now, the purported registration of the parties was not done in accordance with due process. You are well aware that there had been a similar another judgment earlier by Honorable Justice Taiwo, where he held that INEC had the power to deregister political parties, which is important to note. In Justice Taiwo's judgment, Justice Taiwo held that INEC had the power. Another set of political parties went before Honorable Justice Chikere of the Federal High Court also, seeking similar reliefs, and Justice Chikere held that INEC also had power to deregister political parties, and they appealed. When they appealed, the Court of Appeal, in this judgment that is under review now, held that, look, the issue is not the issue of whether INEC has or does not have the power. INEC does have the power to deregister political parties. But the judgment of this Court of Appeal now is clear that, look, the issue is not whether or not they have the powers. The issue is whether they, in exercising that power, or the powers, those powers that INEC has, they complied or they followed due process.
All right, so allow me just jump in here, because you have clarified both judgments. So why then is INEC finding this judgment problematic? Because INEC has said it is going to court to get some sort of clarification on this judgment, saying they are conflicting.
Well, you see, the litigants interpret judgments differently. If a judgment favors me, I celebrate. If it doesn't favor me, or if I feel that I have not gotten justice, I would interpret the judgment in a manner that suits my interpretation of what justice I sought of the matter before the judgment came. So I think what INEC is saying now is that, look, there has been a previous decision of the Court of Appeal upholding the decision of Honorable Justice Taiwo. Honorable Justice Taiwo had earlier held that INEC has power to register political parties, and the political parties so stand registered. And then I think that was the case of the NUP, and I think HDP, that's Hope Democratic Party. When they went to the Court of Appeal agreed with Honorable Justice Taiwo that the INEC has powers to register a political party, to register any political party that has not complied with Section 225A of the Constitution, which is that they have breached any of the rules for registration, or that they have not met certain requirements, the 25% for presidency, governorship, and local government elections, and then the 1 seat each for local government, councillorship, chairmanship, and all that. If they have not met those requirements, then of course they have not satisfied the requirements for remaining viable political parties, and they are entitled to be registered, because they're going to cost the federal government of Nigeria money. You know, as you are aware, INEC funds political parties in this country. So they register them and move forward. But what is happening in this particular case under review is that Justice Chikere departed from I don't want to say narrow now, from the specific issue determined in the other matter. So I don't see any conflict really, if you ask me.
All right.
Yeah, because if I do something, for instance, now, if I come to TVC, for your MD has the power to dismiss you. Now, if your MD has the power to dismiss you, it is one thing. If your MD has not dismissed you in accordance with the handbook or the rules or your contract of employment, then you see that you have not been properly dismissed. What Justice Chikere is saying here is that INEC has not followed the proper procedure. You know, the allegation is that INEC did not state reasons for the registering them.
I'm afraid we do have to leave it there. We'll see how this plays out at the Supreme Court, where INEC is now headed. Lawyer Babatunde Aware, thanks for talking to us.